This morning's guest is not an artist, but he's got a whole palette of information on the Art Museum. Meet him coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're at the regional headquarters for Tidelands Bank on the corner of Professional Drive and Grissom Parkway in Myrtle Beach. We're focused on the Burroughs and Chapin Art Museum, and we're visiting with the treasurer of its board, Jim Watson. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Greg.
Great to be with you on a Friday morning.
Thank you for inviting me to be here.
Absolutely. I hope you and Lou had a great 4th of July on Wednesday.
We did. Excellent.
Absolutely. And it was great seeing you last week at the Dunes Golf and Beach Club for the big ceremony, the Boy Scouts Distinguished Citizens Award dinner to honor Edgerton Burroughs. That was wonderful, wasn't it?
Wonderful event, yes.
It really was. Absolutely. And of course, to think so many things going on at the Art Museum right there on the south end of Ocean Boulevard. It is hopping, Jim.
We are very excited about this year in particular at the Art Museum, Greg. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary. Can you believe that? The Art Museum has been open for 10 years.
I remember as they were moving the big house down on the couple of trucks there, or however they were moving it down Ocean Boulevard to land it there.
That was a really big event in itself, moving a 150-ton building 7 miles down Kings Highway was quite an event.
To get it there to the very southern end of Ocean Boulevard. It is amazing, Jim, and to think about all that's happened in the last 10 years. Celebrating, you all have a lot planned this year and have been doing a lot already.
Yes, indeed. Being our 10th anniversary, we do have a lot of extra activities planned and actually in process this year. Mm-hmm. We're celebrating by having free family days. We had a big gala event about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
We have 2 of the most outstanding exhibits that we have ever had this summer. And I would really like for everyone, if you have any interest in art, to come see these 2 exhibits. Both of these artists have South Carolina roots.
Is that right? Both of them?
Both of them.
Jasper Johns as well?
Right. And Jasper Johns he is a world-renowned print artist.
Oh, yeah.
And we have some of the finest prints he has done in the last 41 years.
Wow.
And it's quite interesting and exciting.
Is he still living, Jim?
I believe he is not.
Okay. You said in the last 41 years. I didn't know if that was to present. Yeah. But he has done a lot.
Well, he has. Now, the other one is Sigmund Abelies, and he is living. He came to the opening of his exhibit. He grew up in Myrtle Beach.
Did he really?
Did a lot of his art training by sketching at Brook Green Gardens.
Oh, wow.
And he is a world-renowned artist also. And he is a figure artist. He draws pictures of people. His mother, pictures of himself, pictures of different people. And it's quite an astounding exhibit. If you visit the exhibit, take some time to read the text panels by each one of the works of art. And it's almost like having the artist there to explain to you what he was thinking about when he created this particular work of art. The Jasper Johns exhibit in particular is a $3 million exhibit.
Oh, come on. $3 million of art is housed there at 3100 South Ocean Boulevard.
Exactly right.
We better have our turn off the tube if you're a thief, please. That's right. Today's not the day to watch Carolina People. Yeah.
Exactly. But it is, Greg, we've had our level of visitation at the museum is strongly up. We had visitors in the past 2 years from all 50 states and several foreign countries.
Jim.
I talked to our director, Pat Goodwin, just a little while ago and asked her to estimate how many visitors we've had in the past year, and she said it's around 20,000.
Oh, come on.
So
is that right?
We have finally achieved success with our art museum, and we're very proud of it.
You all do a tremendous job of tracking folks, particularly encourage them to sign in. Obviously, since it's and I'll ask you that question, how much does it cost, Jim, to get in?
It's free.
Since it's free, it's a good opportunity to highlight and ask folks to sign in and give a little information to say where they're from.
It is free. We like to have donations and we like to have memberships.
Good, yes.
Always a question of where's the money. As the treasurer, that's my main job, to say where's the money.
Yes, yes.
But yes, the admission is free and encouraged. We like for people to come.
Real quick, if a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family out of the house, what's the best number for someone to call to learn more about the museum, to learn about the hours, and also do y'all have a website?
The main number, I think, is 238-2510.
Right.
That someone will answer the phone during the hours the museum is open. It's open from 10 till 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay.
And then 1 to 4 on Sunday.
Great.
Closed on Monday. We do close between exhibits to hang a new exhibit, but the current exhibits will be exhibited until September the 2nd.
That's right. I saw that. Both Johns and Abeles.
Abeles, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
These are wonderful exhibits. I encourage everyone to come.
That's tremendous, Jim. And of course, you had mentioned that you're the treasurer of the board,
yes,
the board of directors there. For viewers who may not have met you here locally, there's a good reason why you're the treasurer there. You've had a grounding in money for quite a long time. Real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, I've been in Myrtle Beach about 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
Moved here from Charlotte. I worked for Wachovia Bank in Charlotte, moved here to join the Anchor Bank.
Oh, yeah.
And Anchor Bank was later merged into Carolina First Bank.
Right.
And so I spent my entire career working on money.
Yeah.
So anytime that I work for a civic organization like the Art Museum, I always end up saying, where's the money?
And they end up saying, well, we'll track it down if you'll be the treasurer.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's great. So you have, and you retired from banking, I believe, last summer?
Yes, I've been retired 1 year.
1 year just last month in June. That's amazing.
Well, I've had time, Greg, to spend time on things I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like working with the Art Museum and like working with various charities, like mission trips through my church.
Constructores para Cristo.
Exactly.
That group that you and Sherry were down. I know Sherry's husband Todd was down there, and of course Bubba Lewis, who we had on the show recently. Sherry was with us. I think she was there the week before you got there, or were you all? Yeah, that's right, before you got there, and of course a tremendous group down there. What was that like, Jim, for viewers who may not have seen Sherry on the show a couple weeks ago, or even Bubba before that? What was it like building a home or homes down in Piedras Negras, Mexico?
Greg, we built home number 524, which I think is quite amazing. A brief history, a lady named Diane Davis from Alabama went to Piedras Negras 20 years ago on a church mission trip to build one house. Mm-hmm. She was so moved by the poverty housing in Piedras Negras, she determined that her life's calling was to try to alleviate the problem. So the next year she went back with some other folks and built 2 or 3 houses. Right. The next year they built 4 or 5 houses. She's called in more churches all over the country. So this year we built 524. I think it'll be up to 528 by the end of the summer.
Is that right?
Yes.
All there in that one community,
exactly.
Making a difference, but they've focused on one community as opposed to trying to get too big, too fast.
Exactly.
They're doing it right in Piedras Negras.
Yes. Each house is virtually identical.
Uh-huh.
She had some architects draw up a standard plan,
right.
And it's just a 3-room house. It's a cinder block house covered with stucco.
Covered with stucco.
Right. It's actually surface bonding cement, but it looks like stucco. The folks that are moving into these houses generally are living in tar paper shacks. That is homes made out of loading pallets like you see at the Lowe's store with tar paper nailed on the outside. And they really think they're moving into a palace, and by the end of the week when we have the house built, they cry and we cry, and it is a moving event, but it certainly is worthwhile.
Who went down with you on the week you were down? Did Lou go, your wife, go as well?
Lou did not go.
She did not.
We had 24 people.
Turn the screws on her and get her down there next time.
I've been trying to convince her to go.
Good,
I keep working on her.
Yeah. Who all went down with you, Jim? Oh, you said 24
Well, we had 24 people.
Uh-huh.
All of them members of First Presbyterian Church here in Myrtle Beach. We are sponsoring this particular mission. And actually, we had two weeks. One group the first week and another group the second week. And we came back about 10 days ago.
That is tremendous. I know John Schlatter down there, of course, helping to keep everything together. Bubba Lewis, Todd, Sherry's husband, Todd Harms, the director of adult education there at First Pres, was there, I think, both weeks. So you had a tremendous crew, many of whom even committed 2 full weeks down there.
Exactly.
We need to get, has Bobby been down there? We ought to get the minister.
Bobby hadn't been, and he needs to go.
Yeah, another person to turn the screws on, Bobby and Lou Watson. We know, and Sherry's saying Greg Everett as well. So we're going to have to see if Donald and the crew can get us filming down in Piedras Negras for some week.
You would find it most worthwhile. I encourage you to do that.
Yeah, it was really an enlightening experience. Was this your first trip, Jim?
No, I've been 3 times.
Oh, come on.
Third trip.
Is that right?
So I built 3 houses. I'm very, very proud of it.
That is tremendous. And of course, you sold, I know Bubba was there with the cards, the different multicolored cards. Sherry sold a lot of them where you do it in honor of or in memory of somebody, and they would fill it out for $10 or $100 or even $1,000 to be able to stick those cards. Share with viewers what the cards were all about.
Well, we had opportunity for people to buy a block. These are cinder block houses. So we sold blocks in the houses for $10 a piece, and the money went to pay for our trip. People bought the blocks, and we gave them green cards to fill out.
Right,
and
green cards.
In memory of or in honor of, and everybody filled in the cards. And then one day when we had the walls up to the top, we were at the top of the walls, we had a ceremony where we dropped all those cards into the walls, and each one of those will be in those houses forever. And the names that the people decided to put in honor of will be there as long as that house is there.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure that's a moving experience. I know for Bubba, who shared that he and his wife and family do it in memory of one of his lost children, one of his children who passed away. Very emotional experience for a lot of folks probably who celebrate lives or honor lives or memorialize lives by buying those bricks and putting them in these homes in Piedras Negras.
Yes.
You know, we had a guest on, Kathy Hustis, who was with us earlier this week, and of course talking about a great point that Bubba Lewis made when he was with us about that. And it's we're going to highlight it again this week because it's such a strong point that you know, folks probably ask at times, Jim, why are you going down to Mexico to build a house in Mexico when there's so much need and so much poverty in America? Have you ever been asked that question?
Yeah, yes, and many, many times. And there is need here also. And I have done some work with Habitat for Humanity here also.
Sure.
But the trip to Mexico is a mission trip. It is to build relationships with another country.
Right.
And right now, every day you pick up the paper and there's all this controversy about illegal immigrants and so forth. We want to make friends. We want to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem. And it does a tremendous amount for us as missionaries.
Yes.
And that's what we like to call ourselves.
Absolutely.
We're not preaching the gospel, but we are working to help people in their lives,
right,
which is extremely important.
And to augment that from what Bubba had said during his interview, that he didn't let man-made boundaries, i.e. the Mexican and the American borders, determine where God's work was going to be done.
Exactly. Bubba's good, by the way. He can spread that surface bonding cement faster than anything.
Well, he was a tremendous guest, and he was kind enough to be with us on a Monday morning, literally before flying down to Piedras Negras or down to San Antonio later that day to be on site there. It was tremendous having him. You know, I think in reading about you, Jim, you also had quite a bit of experience with Boy Scouting, both growing up as well as serving, I think, as a Troop 99 there in Charlotte?
Yes, that's one of my favorite activities, Greg, is supporting the Boy Scouts. And I have been a Scout since I joined the Cub Scouts when I was very, very young. And through the years, I've worked with various troops. In particular, Troop 99 in Charlotte was a long-term assignment. I was chairman of the Parents Committee. I was Eagle Review chairman. I was fundraising chairman. You name it, I did.
Is that right? Yeah.
Went on super trips all over the country. We hiked all the mountains in the West, and that was really one of my favorite things that I've in my history.
Did your son get involved in scouting, Jim?
Yes, he did.
Was he in that troop as well?
Yes, and he was an Eagle Scout.
Was he really?
Yes, indeed. And I went on a lot of the trips that he went on as a scout, as an adult leader of the troop.
That's tremendous.
And that was great father-son bonding. I'm very supportive of the Boy Scouts, for fathers and sons to be together in camping trips in the outdoors, in rafting and canoeing,
Right.
Mountain climbing.
You know, Ed Heyer, the Scout executive here for the PD Area Council, was with us last Monday at the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce, and he highlighted something that I hadn't known, that 6 to 11 is the Cub Scouting, 11 to 16 is the, I guess, Boy Scouting, and then here in the council, 16 to 20, you can do the venturing, I believe, and that's when girls can actually join Boy Scouting and to be involved in the venturing side. I was about to add, the only reason I mentioned that is because I believe you have a daughter as well. Did she ever get involved in scouting?
No, she didn't.
Aha, yes.
And I'll tell you a quick story. One day she said, when she was a teenager, she said, Daddy, you used to take Bill on all these camping trips, and you haven't taken me on a camping trip.
Oh, wow.
I said, oh, my goodness, let's go camping. So we went camping.
Just the two of y'all?
Well, and her mom.
And your mother, right.
And Lou. So anyway, she wrote a book about it. I have it.
Oh, come on.
She wrote a book about her big camping trip.
Are you serious,
Yes,
Jim?
yes.
What a great idea. Well, I hope I can do that with Emma Claire someday and get out there camping. That must be a great experience,
Yes,
taking
indeed.
your daughter out. That's wonderful. You know, as we think about all the activities, for viewers who aren't familiar with that trip 10 years ago, what prompted the founding of the Burroughs and Chapin Art Museum in Myrtle Beach, Jim? Even obviously a little before your time, and I believe I was with you and Lou there at the museum one day, and I think Lou said that you may not have a long background in art, and having studied art for a long time, something just really got your interest to get involved with the art museum.
Well, it's things like the day that you were there with Emma Claire, and we had the Goodnight Moon exhibit.
Right, yes.
And Emma Claire was the most excited little girl I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, she
wanted to get in that exhibit, and you chased her all around the
That's right, I did. I was sweating a lot more than right now,
That's what's exciting, Greg. It's exciting to have people involved in the art museum, and that's why I'm involved, because of the people. I like the people. We have wonderful times together. We bring in folks like you to help us. The Myrtle Beach Herald has been a tremendous help to us. You personally have helped us a lot.
So many folks. You've got tremendous volunteers and donors and others. Thank you.
That's what's exciting. We have built an organization from zero 10 years ago.
Right.
It struggled for several years. I got involved. I was, of course, went to events and all, but I was elected to the board 6 years ago.
Is that right? It was that long ago. Great.
And in 6 years, we have built, through our excellent director, Pat Goodwin,
Oh, yeah.
we have built a wonderful organization, extremely successful, and we're very proud of it. We're proud of our old house also.
Oh, yeah.
It is, you've read the history of it, built in 1924. Moved down the boulevard as we discussed.
Right.
It took years and years to get the money to renovate that house and turn it into a functioning, state-of-the-art art museum. And we are there today, and we're very proud of it.
And celebrating 10 years this year, which is tremendous, Jim. It really is a great testament. You do have so many tremendous donors and other corporate donors. I think recently you even had a big fundraiser to focus on 10 folks stepping up to the plate to help the museum out.
Yes, indeed. In honor of our 10th anniversary, back in January, Pat Goodwin recommended to our board that we raise $100,000 to pay for all of the events that have been happening this year.
Right.
And we kind of all, we didn't know if we could do it or not, but we decided to recruit 10 of our best friends to be a member of a group called the Elite 10. We asked each one of these 10 to give us $10,000. So it's 10 years, 10 companies, $10,000. Well, we worked, and finally, about 3 weeks ago, we got number 10. So
that's great, Jim.
We're real pleased with that, and thankful to those who have been our supporters for so many years. There's always a question of where's the money, and it's a never-ending battle. But it costs a lot of money to run our art museum.
Oh, yeah, but particularly when it's free to get in. I mean, you don't charge a penny to get in for viewers who want to.
All the folks that get to come to the art museum who come to Myrtle Beach because of the art museum.
Right.
We are helping our community. We are helping the image of Myrtle Beach by having an art museum.
Oh, yeah, sure. You said Tuesday through Saturday.
That's right.
Through tomorrow. 10 to 4, and then Sunday from 1 to 4.
Exactly.
So if viewers want to go out there in 2.5 hours later this morning, this Friday morning, they can head on out there.
We would love to have that.
If a viewer's never been, or our viewers in the PD or southeastern North Carolina, if they've never been to the Art Museum, what's the easiest way for them to get there? Let's say they're coming in from Florence.
I usually tell people to come to Spring-Maid Beach.
Okay,
That's most people know where Spring-Maid Beach is.
Sure.
But if you're coming, you take 501 to 17 Business, follow 17 Business all the way to what used to be the main gate to the Air Force Base.
Right, sure, the
turn
front gate of
left
the
on
airport.
Ocean Boulevard, and it's on your right just before Spring-Maid Beach. Most everybody can tell you where Spring-Maid Pier is.
Yes,
And
yes.
that's a landmark.
Absolutely.
So this is within sight of Spring-Maid Pier.
That's right, a little south of Damon's, a little south of the Crown Reef Resort, or that
Exactly.
huge hotel, the Purple Hotel, on the southern end of the beach, and Breeze's Beach Club if they've had any trouble. But it's 3100 South Ocean Boulevard, so very easy. You said the phone number, 843-238-2510.
Yeah.
And you all have a great-looking website as well,
Thank you.
MyrtleBeachArtMuseum.org.
That's right.
MyrtleBeachArtMuseum.org, which is a
Exactly.
tremendous site and a lot of great information on there. And you said it's been 6 years, Jim, since you've been involved. Have you had a passion or a love or an activity with art that prompted that involvement?
Well, I don't know much about art.
Good answer.
I do know something about money.
Yeah, about raising
Working
money.
in the bank for all my career, and I feel like my calling is to help with the business side of the Art Museum. I do enjoy the art, and I love to hear an artist give an artist talk when we have an opening, because I learn so much.
Right.
But I rely on other folks who do know more about art than I do to make sure that we know what we're doing and got the right exhibits and that sort of thing.
And you've got some other great bankers involved. I think I saw that your board chairman is actually a banker with Coastal Federal.
Steve Sherry,
that's right.
Exactly right. He's our chairman. Mayor Joe Rogers is a board member.
We love Mary Jo, who's our columnist, does our fitness column for the Myrtle Beach Herald,
Yes,
is in the current issue of the Herald.
And Debbie Burrs-Scaldone is on our board.
Yes.
So we've had, and they've had several others.
Sure. Lots of bankers who find a real need to use their connections in the community to help find support as well.
Finding support is the key. It's a never-ending challenge to find the support. We always need members. We always need sponsors. And we really, our biggest goal right now, Greg, is to get the business community more involved in our museum.
Good.
We feel like this is important for them. This is they're doing business here in Myrtle Beach, and our art museum helps Myrtle Beach succeed. And we want them to be a part of what we're doing.
We've just got a couple of minutes, Jim, and those are great words for a viewer who may work at a local company, who thinks that their company could be involved. What's the best way or the best thing for them to do? And then maybe if there are any volunteer opportunities at the museum, but what's the best thing a viewer could do right now if they thought either they themselves personally or their company could be involved in the art museum?
I think I would encourage them to go to the art museum and see it.
Good point.
Many people say, I didn't know it was there.
Right.
But it is there. Go find it. Go look. Go talk to people. Look in the gift shop. We have wonderful things in the gift shop.
Right.
Look at the exhibit. Talk to the people. Look at the education program we have. We have a full-time education director. And one of our goals is to get every school child in Horry County to spend at least one visit at the art museum.
A year, or one visit at all,
Visit
just
at
to
all.
see it.
We just get everyone to come one time, just to learn that there is art, and that's something that they should know about. And we're working on that.
So there's, of course, not only the tremendous area there with the exhibits themselves. There's a nice little alcove that looks out on the ocean. There is, as you said, the gift shop. There's a great little library, I believe,
Yes,
on the
a
end. There's
wonderful library.
educational rooms upstairs. I think there's a lot more to it. And as you say, just visit it once, but also walk around, check out the facility. There's so much in there.
The library is a branch, by the way, of the Chapin Memorial Library.
I didn't know that.
That's right. So our books are all cataloged and so forth, and part of the main library.
And if you've got a library card for the main library, you could utilize it there at y'all's library.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Again, 843-238-2510. If you hadn't gotten involved in the Art Museum 6 years ago, Jim, what do you think you'd be doing now?
Well, I'd probably be doing some other charity work, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
I enjoy helping people. I enjoy things that I don't get paid for. And that's one reason I retired. I wanted to spend more time doing things for folks that I feel like I can be a help to. And I'd probably do more habitat work. I really am a strong supporter of Habitat for Humanity. I'd be working with Shared Care, which I've done a little work with already, and I'm a strong supporter of that organization. I've been doing more church work, First Presbyterian, where I'm an elder and on several committees. I would be finding things that I could do in our community because I think it's important for us to support Myrtle Beach where we live.
Those are great words, Jim. Thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Stay right here. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Jim Watson coming up next. Think about those great words that Jim shared. Daddy, you never take me on a camping trip. You take my brother out all the time. You take him out all the time. What does Jim do? He takes his daughter out, and what does she do? She writes a book about it. Can you imagine that years ago, the excitement they're in? Imagine your child saying a similar thing, but instead saying, Daddy, Mommy, I didn't know there was an art museum in Myrtle Beach. I want to go. I want to go visit. You heard Jim say it. Go for the first time. Experience it. You'll love it. Pick up the phone, 238-2510, 843-238-2510. What's the cost? Zero. There's no cost. You can go for free. Just get down there. Use Coast RTA. Get on a bus. Drive down there. Come in from the PD. Come in. Just visit it one time. You'll experience it. You'll want to keep coming back. The website's simple as well. MyrtleBeachArtMuseum.org. MyrtleBeachArtMuseum.org. Go online. They've got some great info, a great library, a great view there, right there at 3100 South Ocean Boulevard. Take the time. Go down there. Experience it at least one time.